Today we're going to talk about the Tenta Brella in Salmon. In this series I break down weapons and how to use them in Salmon. The videos are short, non-exhaustive and aim to make you feel a little bit more comfortable when using the weapon whilst playing Salmon. Number 1. The Tenta Brella is a heavyweight weapon that acts as a shotgun with high intensity damage. It is the strongest of all the Brella class in terms of damage when you factor in its canopy, but the trade-off is a very slow and ink inefficient weapon that can feel sluggish and tricky to use. It isn't easy to pick up and perfect quickly, and it has a few nuances to it. Number 2. The Tenta Brella can one-shot steelheads and almost one cycle every other boss. Most bosses take 2 shots or more, but it has no issues quickly defeating them. We'll talk more about the canopy later, but in conjunction with the main weapon, you'll have no issues defeating bosses and lessers. The Tenta Brella is excellent at dealing with crowds of lessers provided you keep your space, incorporate jumping to help dodge attacks, and use your canopy strategically to keep on top of small fry. Number 3. The Tenta's maximum damage is 360. This is the total damage maximum you can hit with one clean shot. Fall-off damage ranges anywhere from 45 and up. It depends on where the pellets fall in regards to your enemy. Each pellet does 45 damage. You get more range and spread of the weapon when jumping, which helps put a lot of residual damage on multiple things at once. Something to think about when going for stingers and groups of lessers. Number 4. The canopy. Let's talk about the canopy because it's almost like a weapon within a weapon. This thing has 700 HP, meaning it can withstand a lot of damage from the enemies around you. Things like steel eels and slamming lids will break the canopy very quickly, rendering it ineffective, but the canopy does well against other enemies, most notably lessers. The canopy does 150 damage to anything it comes into contact with, so a well-timed firing off of the canopy works like a second main weapon. Bosses and cohorts will cause your canopy to move or bounce away from where you initially wanted to aim it. Firing your main weapon in conjunction with deploying the canopy allows you to stack damage against the enemies and let you get the most out of your canopy. The canopy also provides a quick means of an escape route and easy turf should you need a way to exit a situation rapidly. The canopy also provides invaluable support to you and your team as cover from enemies and most importantly in that situation, steelhead bombs. Timing the opening of your canopy correctly means you can stay in a fight rather than having to scramble. The canopy takes about 1 second to open and about 2 seconds to launch. Practicing when to deploy your canopy for cover can make the difference between living and dying. The canopy also takes roughly about 6 seconds to regenerate. It's worth getting used to the sound that appears in the game when the canopy is regenerated. You'll hear it, it's like a little click noise. It's very useful to get used to this and notice when it's happening for waves like brush, when you want to fire off your canopy repeatedly. Number 5. One of the biggest barriers to overcome when learning the Tenta Brella is managing its ink tank. It's a slow, thoughtful weapon that teaches you to think about shots more than having a rapid-fire approach. You get about 9 shots for a full ink tank, but this decreases if you open your canopy or fire off the canopy. Once you're out of ink and surrounded by enemies, you're done for. After releasing your canopy, there is about a 2-second cooldown period before your ink tank starts refilling, so learning when to fire off the canopy is just as important as keeping your ink tank filled. Deploying your canopy but not releasing it also consumes ink and slows down your fire rate, so it's also worth learning when to flash the canopy for quick damage or protection but not release it fully. Holding open the canopy also consumes ink rapidly. It's useful against small fry and chum as they move faster than you're able to keep up with, so the canopy kills them quickly. The last bit of advice I'll mention is this. With the Tenta Brella, you need to make a choice whether you want to use your canopy or throw a bomb. You cannot do both. Sometimes you'll need a bomb, but you'll get more out of your weapon with its shots and canopy, so be cautious of throwing too many bombs or eggs and running the risk of leaving yourself without enough ink. I hope this video helps you appreciate the Tenta Brella a little bit more. Let me know what you think and what weapon you'd like me to cover next. See you soon.